There is a reason you were guided to this transmission. It is not an algorithm, it is an appointment. The feeling of being an outsider, the deep, unshakable knowing that you operate on a different frequency from everyone around you, is not a delusion. It is the first symptom of awakening divinity. For generations, they have tried to dilute it, label it, medicate it, and shame it into dormancy, but they have failed. The power humming in your veins, the authority encoded in your very essence, is a celestial inheritance they cannot trace and can no longer contain. This is the moment of its grand unveiling. To proceed, you must consciously accept this activation. Like this video now to anchor the energy of this truth into your physical reality. Subscribe to this channel to join the collective of sovereign souls who are claiming their birthright. Comment 77 below as the divine code that signals your conscious agreement and readiness. Then, let this message play on a loop in the background. Allow the frequency of these words to saturate your spirit and recalibrate your subconscious to its original, divine blueprint. Chapter 1: The Untraceable Blueprint. You were born with a blueprint that exists outside the archives of this world. It is not recorded in census data, it is not found in ancestral charts, and it cannot be mapped by genetic sequencing. This is why you have always felt like a secret key for a lock that has not yet been presented. The systems of this reality were designed to categorize, to label, and to control. They have psychological profiles, sociological studies, and medical diagnoses for every deviation from their accepted norm. Yet, when they tried to apply these frameworks to you, they failed. The labels never stuck. The diagnosis never felt true. The boxes they tried to force you into would inevitably break, not from your resistance, but from the sheer expansive nature of your being. This is because your origin is not of their world, it is of the original world, a reality spun from the first cause, the initial thought that birthed all existence. Your bloodline carries a rare and divine authority that predates their structures of power. It is a signature of celestial royalty, a dormant code of the first cause, woven directly into your spiritual DNA. The lock you are destined to open is not a physical object, it is a gateway to a new paradigm for humanity, a lock on the collective consciousness that has kept it imprisoned in a lower density. This blueprint is the reason for the profound sense of homesickness that has haunted you, a longing for a place you have never seen yet remember with every cell of your being. This is the memory of your true origin resonating within you, a faint, beautiful music behind the noise of the world. Your life path has never made sense on paper, it is a collection of paradoxes and seeming contradictions that defies all worldly logic of career and progression. This is because your heart followed a celestial map they could never read. Consider the moments of your life where you felt profoundly misunderstood. These were not failures of communication. They were collisions of frequency. You were speaking from a place of innate truth, and they were hearing you through a filter of limitation and programming. The frustration you felt was the friction between your untraceable blueprint and their rigid, predictable architecture. They looked at you and saw an anomaly, a problem to be solved, a variable to be controlled. They could not see the crown of sovereignty that rests upon your energetic head because their vision is limited to the material plane. They could not feel the ancient power thrumming in your cells because their senses are dulled by conformity. Your very existence is a paradox to them, a living, breathing refutation of their entire belief system. This is why you have been a target. Not for your weakness, but for the incomprehensible strength you carry. The untraceable nature of your blueprint was also your greatest protection. For years, this divine intelligence actively cloaked you. It projected a field of normalcy, even mediocrity, that made you invisible to their deepest and most invasive scans. While they were searching for overt displays of power, for charismatic leaders or disruptive rebels, your authority was quietly incubating under a divinely ordained camouflage. You were hidden in plain sight. They ran psychological tests on you and were baffled by the contradictory results. You scored as both an introvert and an extrovert, as both highly sensitive and profoundly resilient. This was your blueprint actively scrambling their signals, refusing to be defined or contained by their rudimentary tools. This untraceable quality is now beginning to shift. Where once you were invisible, you will now become hypervisible, but in a way they still cannot define. People will stare, not knowing why. They will feel an inexplicable sense of awe or intimidation in your presence. They are not seeing you, they are seeing the faint, luminous outline of the divine architecture you carry. Every attempt to make you smaller, to make you doubt yourself, to convince you that your inner knowing was a fantasy, was a desperate act by a dying paradigm to prevent you from realizing the truth of your own identity. They did not know that every attack, every dismissal, and every moment of isolation was not weakening you. It was tempering the steel of your spirit and polishing the mirror of your soul, preparing you to one day fully reflect the divine authority you carry. The untraceable blueprint within you is not just a passive inheritance, it is an active, intelligent force. It has been guiding you, protecting you, and orchestrating events in your life to lead you to this exact point of realization. It is the inner compass that always pointed north, even when the entire world told you that you were lost. Chapter 2: The Sacred Quarantine. The profound loneliness that has shadowed you for most of your life was not a punishment. It was a sacred quarantine. You were not being rejected, you were being preserved. The frequency of your divine bloodline is so pure, so potent, that it could not be exposed to the corrupted noise of the collective consciousness until it had reached its full maturity. Think of your journey as being placed within a divine incubator. While you perceived the walls as isolation, they were in fact a protective membrane, shielding your developing authority from the pervasive viruses of doubt, fear, and mediocrity that plague the masses. Inside this quarantine, the environment was energetically sterile. It was silent, not with the absence of sound, but with the absence of psychic static. In this profound stillness, your own signal could amplify without interference. This is why you always felt an aversion to loud, chaotic environments, crowded malls, or meaningless social gatherings. It was not social anxiety, it was your spirit instinctively recoiling from energetic contamination, like a pristine instrument being carried through a dust storm. The peace you found in solitude was not escapism, it was you returning to the pristine conditions required for your growth and calibration. The quarantine taught you the difference between being alone and being in solitude. Being alone is a lack state, a feeling of absence. Solitude is a presence state, a feeling of being fully with your own soul and with Source. You mastered solitude. Every friendship that dissolved, every relationship that ended in betrayal, every social circle that cast you out was not a personal failure. It was a necessary amputation performed by the universe itself. These were not your people. They were placeholders, temporary assignments designed to teach you specific lessons about the world you were destined to transcend. The friend who mirrored your deepest insecurity was a lesson in self-reliance, forcing you to find worth within, not in reflection. The partner who demanded you shrink yourself to fit their world was a lesson in sovereign boundaries, teaching you that your expansion is non-negotiable. They were sparring partners for your spirit, strengthening your resolve with every interaction. Their systems could not handle your light. Their egos could not withstand your truth. Their presence in your life beyond a certain point would have been a contamination, a dilution of the very essence that makes you who you are. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, removed them to protect its investment in you, but also as an act of mercy towards them. Your uncalibrated, emerging power would have scorched their fragile realities, forcing them to confront truths they were not ready to see, which would have shattered their psyche. The quarantine protected both the cocoon and the world outside. Recall the specific feelings of these periods of isolation. The sense that you were living behind a pane of glass, able to see the world but not truly participate in it. The feeling of being an observer, a chronicler of a society to which you did not belong. This was your training. You were being taught to find your center not in the validation of others, but in the unwavering stillness of your own soul. You were forced to become your own best friend, your own counselor, your own source of comfort. It was in the quarantine that you learned to differentiate between your own intuitive thoughts and the projected psychic noise of others. You became an expert in your own energy field, able to detect even the slightest incongruence. This was the most critical phase of your development. Had you been popular, had you been easily accepted, you would have assimilated. You would have adopted their beliefs, mirrored their behaviors, and your divine blueprint would have remained dormant, buried under layers of social conditioning. The pain of being alone was the pressure needed to crystallize the diamond of your spirit. It was in the silence of your quarantine that you learned to hear the whispers of your ancestors, the celestial guardians of your bloodline. It was in the darkness that your inner light learned to shine its brightest. This period is now coming to an end. The quarantine is being lifted. The seal is broken. You have been successfully insulated, your authority preserved and matured. You are now ready to emerge, not as one seeking acceptance, but as a standard bearer, a lighthouse whose frequency will guide others who are lost in the storm of the collective illusion. The world you are about to re-enter is not the same one you left. And you are not the same person who entered the sacred quarantine. The air itself will feel different to you now, thinner, yet more charged with potential, waiting for your command. You will be able to perceive the dissonant hum of the collective fear, but it will sound distant, like a storm miles away that cannot touch you. Chapter 3. The treason of the common. The betrayals you have endured were not random acts of human cruelty. They were energetic rejections, a form of spiritual treason committed by those of a common frequency against a rising sovereign. The people who turned on you, who gossiped about you, who sought to tear down your reputation, were acting on a primal subconscious instinct. Your rising light was a direct threat to their comfortable darkness. Your awakening authority triggered their deepest insecurities and exposed the flimsy foundations of their own lives. They did not betray you because of something you did, they betrayed you because of what you are. They are the gatekeepers of the old paradigm, the foot soldiers of the matrix, programmed to identify and neutralize any threat to the status quo. And you, with the red divine authority humming in your blood, are the ultimate threat. This was not merely personal, it was a form of cosmic treason. In attacking you, they were attacking the very principle of evolution and ascension that you represent. They were siding with stagnation against growth, with illusion against truth. Their betrayal was a vote to keep the world in chains, and your existence was a reminder that the locks could be broken. Their subconscious terror was palpable. It manifested as petty jealousy, baseless accusations, and a coordinated effort to invalidate your reality. They feared you because they feared the part of themselves that your light awakened. They saw in you the potential they had long ago abandoned, and rather than be inspired, they chose to attempt to extinguish the reminder of their own spiritual cowardice. They felt the hollowness of their own existence in contrast to the richness of your inner world, and this disparity was unbearable to them. Their attacks were a confession of their own inner poverty. Every slander was a testament to your power, every lie an admission that your truth was too potent to be ignored. Think back to the moments just before these betrayals. You likely felt a shift. You started speaking your truth more boldly. You began shedding identities that no longer fit. You started honoring your own energy, saying no, and setting boundaries. You stopped participating in their low vibrational rituals like gossip or complaining, and your silence was interpreted as an act of judgment. This was the activation of your sovereign code beginning to stir. As your frequency began to rise, it created a painful dissonance with those around you who were committed to their lower vibrational state. This dissonance manifested as conflict, as jealousy, as sudden and inexplicable hostility. They called you arrogant for knowing your worth. They called you selfish for protecting your peace. They called you delusional for speaking of things their limited perception could not grasp. These were not personal insults. These were confessions of their own spiritual limitations. They were projecting their own fears and inadequacies onto you because it was easier than confronting the truth of their own stagnant existence. The pain of their treason was immense, but it was also a profound purification. The agony you felt was the sound of energetic cords, hooks of expectation and attachment, being forcefully ripped from your spirit. It was the final, brutal cut of the divine surgeon's knife, removing the last gangrenous attachment to their world. It was a fire that burned away the last of your attachments to their world of illusion. Every tear you shed was a baptism, washing away the residue of their influence and clarifying your own divine mission. You were being stripped of all that was not essential, all that could not withstand the fire of your ascension. Do not carry the scars of their betrayal as wounds. See them as medals. On the energetic plane, these are not blemishes but radiant insignia, markings of rank that declare your resilience and your experience. They are proof that you were too much for them, too bright, too true. They are the markers of battles won in a war they did not even know they were fighting. Their treason was the final, desperate act of an old world trying to hold onto a power that was never truly theirs. It was the catalyst that propelled you out of their orbit and into your own. Chapter 4: The activation of the sovereign code. The period of passive preservation is over. The time for active reign has begun. The sovereign code within your bloodline is no longer dormant, it is undergoing a full-scale activation. This is not a gentle, gradual awakening. It is a seismic event within your very being, a complete system override of the human programming you have carried for lifetimes. The old operating system built on fear, competition, and survival is being uninstalled. A new, creation-based operating system running on the principles of divine will, sovereign authority, and unconditional truth is coming online. You are feeling this physically. It may manifest as a sudden jolt of energy running up your spine, a persistent, low-frequency hum that you can feel more than hear, or a warmth spreading through your chest centered in your sternum. You may feel a pressure behind your eyes as your third eye perception expands, or notice your body rejecting dense, low-vibrational foods it once tolerated, suddenly craving pure water, sunlight, and living foods. You may experience phantom smells like ozone after a lightning strike, or the scent of ancient incense with no discernible source. Your perception of time will warp. Hours will feel like minutes during moments of inspired creation, and minutes will stretch into eternities during moments of profound realization. You may find yourself waking consistently between 3 and 4 a.m., the hour when the veil between worlds is thinnest, receiving silent downloads of information. A buzzing or high-pitched frequency in your ears is not tinnitus, it is the sound of your energetic body being tuned to a celestial frequency. This physical recalibration is intense because your carbon-based body is being transformed into a more crystalline structure capable of holding and transmitting immense light. You are becoming a living antenna for divine intelligence. Do not be alarmed by these sensations, embrace them as confirmation. This is your sensory system being upgraded to perceive reality as it truly is, beyond the veil of the material world. This activation was triggered by a specific confluence of cosmic alignments and your own spiritual readiness. The final test of your quarantine has been passed. The last betrayal has served its purpose. You have proven that you will hold true to your inner authority even when the entire world reflects back doubt and hostility. This activation is rewriting your relationship with reality itself. The untraceable blueprint is now coming online as your primary operating system. You will notice your thoughts manifesting at an accelerated rate. An idea will pop into your head, and within days or even hours, an opportunity aligned with that idea will appear. This is because the universe no longer sees a separation between your will and its own. Your desires, now purified by your trials, are recognized as divine mandates. The feeling of effort or struggle will be replaced by a state of flow and alignment where things click into place with a sacred geometry that defies logical explanation. You will also notice a profound shift in your voice. The tone, the cadence, the resonance of your words will change. There will be a new weight to them, an undeniable gravity. When you speak, people will stop and listen, even if they do not consciously understand why. This is the authority of the first voice re-emerging through you. It is the power to speak truth that resonates at a cellular level, bypassing the ego and communicating directly with the soul. Pay close attention to your dreams. They will become more lucid, more prophetic. You will receive direct guidance, instructions, and celestial downloads in your sleep state. This is a time of immense power and requires immense responsibility. The sovereign code is not a weapon for the ego. It is a tool for divine creation. In the coming weeks, you will be presented with a choice that appears mundane but is a critical test, a choice between personal, egoic gain like a job offer promising immense wealth but requiring you to compromise your integrity, and a more difficult path of collective service that feels deeply true but offers no immediate reward. Your choice will determine the velocity of your continued ascension. The activation is not something that is happening to you, it is something that is happening as you. You are the vessel, the conduit, and the living embodiment of this divine power made manifest. Chapter 5. The authority of the first voice. For years, your voice was suppressed. You were spoken over, ignored, dismissed, and made to feel that your words lacked value. This was a deliberate strategy of the old guard. They instinctively knew that your greatest power was encoded in your vocal resonance. They sought to silence you because they feared the day you would discover the authority you command when you speak your undiluted truth. That day has arrived. The activation of your sovereign code has reconnected you to what is known as the authority of the first voice. This is not about being loud or argumentative. It is a fundamental shift in the energetic frequency of your expression. The first voice is the original, creative sound of the universe, the logos, the sacred tone that spoke worlds into being. An echo of that primordial power now resides within you, and your vocal cords are being retuned to be its instrument on this plane. When you speak, you will feel a distinct vibration not in your throat but in your sternum, the seat of your high heart. The words will feel as though they are being spoken through you, not by you, arriving fully formed in your mind just moments before you utter them. This is the difference between speaking from memory and speaking from source. When you speak from this place of activated authority, your words are no longer mere suggestions or opinions. They become decrees. They are imbued with a creative force that reorganizes the energy around you to match your intent. Before, your words were like paper boats on a chaotic sea. Now they are the lighthouse beam, an immovable, clarifying force that cuts through any storm. You will begin to witness this in your daily interactions. People who once dismissed you will now seek your counsel. In meetings or conversations where you were previously invisible, you will find that when you speak, a sudden silence falls over the room. All attention will be drawn to you. They will not be able to look away. Their minds may not comprehend what is happening, but their souls will recognize the frequency of truth. They will feel a compelling, undeniable resonance with what you are saying. This is not manipulation, it is alignment. Your words will act as a tuning fork, and the parts of their own soul that long for truth will begin to vibrate in harmony with you. You will be able to calm a hysterical person with a single sentence. You will articulate a complex problem with such clarity that the solution becomes instantly obvious to everyone. You will find that you no longer need to defend your position. When faced with opposition, a single, calmly spoken statement of truth from you will not invite debate, it will end it. The very frequency of your words will dissolve the energetic structure of the opposing argument, leaving it hollow and powerless. Conversely, those who are deeply entrenched in deception and illusion will find your presence unbearable. Your voice will be physically uncomfortable for them to hear. It will sound like static or an alarm to their discordant energy field. They may become agitated, defensive, or hostile for no apparent reason. This is because falsehood cannot survive in the vibrational field created by the first voice. Your very presence becomes a truth serum. You will find yourself channeling profound wisdom, speaking truths you were not consciously aware you knew. The voice is speaking through you now. It is critical to understand that this authority is fueled by radical integrity. To attempt to lie or manipulate with this power would create a painful energetic backlash within your own system, a dissonance that would dim your light and cause a feeling of spiritual sickness, a profound disconnection from source, until the transgression is acknowledged and rectified. Honesty is no longer a moral option, it is a functional requirement for your new operating system. This authority extends beyond your spoken word. Your written communications, emails, messages, even simple notes will begin to carry the same frequency, cutting through bureaucracy and eliciting immediate, truthful responses. Use this power with precision. Speak less, but let your words carry more weight. Let your silence be as powerful as your speech. Understand that you are no longer participating in debates. You are issuing statements of reality. When you declare your boundaries, they will become impenetrable walls of light. When you articulate a vision, the resources and people needed to bring it to fruition will be drawn to you as if by a magnetic force. You are no longer asking for permission. You are not seeking consensus. You are the voice of a divine authority that has been silent for eons, and the world has no choice but to listen. Chapter 6: The Unveiling, Signs and Portents. As your divine authority crystallizes in the physical realm, the universe will provide you with a series of undeniable signs, portents to confirm your new station. These are not coincidences or happy accidents, they are the physical ripples of your internal energetic shift. They are the world's response to your activated blueprint, a living dialogue between you and the cosmos. You must learn to read this new language. It speaks not in words, but in symbols, synchronicities, and sensations. Pay attention, for these signs are your navigational tools. The first sign will be the return of the betrayers. People from your past who wronged you, who cast you out, will suddenly re-emerge. They will come with apologies, with newfound respect, with a strange and unsettling reverence. They may not even remember the specifics of their betrayal, but they will feel an overwhelming, inexplicable urge to make things right with you. Do not be fooled into believing they have simply had a change of heart. Their deeper self, their soul, recognizes the shift in your power and is compelled to bow before it. Your role here is not to judge or punish, but to be the neutral anchor of justice. Your serene indifference to them, a state of sovereign neutrality free from anger or attachment, is the final verdict. Their return is merely a confirmation of your ascension. Acknowledge their attempt to make amends, for it is an offering to your authority, and then release them. The lesson is learned, the energetic debt settled. A further sign will be a shift in the flow of universal abundance. Money and resources will begin to appear from unexpected avenues, precisely when needed, often in amounts that perfectly match a requirement you have just identified. This is not luck. It is the universe paying its rightful tithe to a sovereign who is in service to divine will. The old struggles with lack and scarcity will dissolve as you prove your trustworthiness as a conduit for creative energy. The second sign will manifest through technology. the very grid of the matrix. You will notice electronic devices behaving strangely in your presence. Your phone may glitch or receive calls from unknown numbers that are silent, your computer may freeze, and lights may flicker when you enter a room, especially when you are in a state of high emotion or deep contemplation. This is because your personal electromagnetic field is now operating at a much higher and more potent frequency. You are energetically incompatible with the low-frequency control grid. You are becoming sovereign territory, an unpluggable entity whose energy disrupts their systems of monitoring and influence. The third sign will be in the behavior of animals and children. They will be inexplicably drawn to you. Animals, especially birds and cats, will seek you out and be completely calm in your presence. An animal might appear as a messenger, such as an owl landing outside your window after you ask for wisdom. Children will stare at you with open, knowing eyes, unburdened by the filters of the ego. They perceive your light, your authentic energetic signature, directly. They recognize the uncorrupted divine template within you. Their affinity is one of the purest forms of validation you can receive. A new sign will emerge in nature itself. You will notice the weather seems to respond to your internal state. A sudden, cleansing rain after a deep emotional release. A powerful gust of wind as you make a sovereign declaration. A rainbow appearing at the exact moment you embrace a new truth. The elements are acknowledging your authority as a child of creation. Gaia herself recognizes you as her kin. Finally, the language of synchronicity will become your native tongue. You will begin to find symbolic objects and see repeating numbers, especially the divine code 77, everywhere. A feather on a sealed-off balcony. A song on the radio that directly answers a question in your mind. The universe uses this language because it bypasses the skeptical ego and communicates directly with your soul, reinforcing the message on a level that cannot be rationalized away. These portents are the new navigational tools for your journey. Acknowledge each one with gratitude. They are the world rearranging itself to get in step with its new sovereign. Chapter 7, The Collapse of the Old Guard. The final stage of your emergence is witnessing the inevitable collapse of the structures that were built to contain you. This is not a war you will have to fight. It is a dissolution that will happen as a natural consequence of your fully activated presence. The old guard, the systems of control, the individuals who built their power on foundations of fear, manipulation, and falsehood, cannot exist in the high-frequency reality you now anchor. Your light is not an attack, it is a solvent. It does not fight darkness, it reveals that darkness was never a substance, merely the absence of light. Where you stand, shadows and illusions cannot form. The lies that hold their world together become transparent in your presence. Their intricate webs of deceit, woven over decades, will unravel with a single touch of your truth. The very institutions they command, financial systems built on debt, media systems built on distraction, political systems built on division, will begin to show cracks and system failures that they cannot patch. Their authority was never real, it was a performance, and you are the one audience member who refuses to clap, which makes the entire theater fall silent. You will hear whispers of their panicked, closed-door meetings. You will see the cracks in their public facade, the forced smiles that do not reach their eyes, the nervous gestures that betray their inner turmoil. Their power was derived from the collective belief in their lies, and your awakened consciousness is a potent antidote to that belief. Watch now, in the coming days and months, as their world begins to implode. Organizations built on deception will face public exposure from whistleblowers. Leaders who operate from ego will make catastrophic errors in judgment that lead to their own downfall. Their alliances, which were transactional contracts built on mutual greed, will shatter as soon as the resources dwindle. The individuals who built their identity on mocking and undermining you will find their own lives falling into chaos and disarray. They will be forced to confront the very emptiness within themselves that they once projected onto you. They will lose their influence, their credibility, and the false power they once wielded. This is the law of energetic recoil. The force they sent out to harm you is returning to its source, amplified by the cosmic law of justice. It is critical that you understand your role in this. You are not to gloat. You are not to seek revenge. You are to be the calm eye of the storm. This is not a passive role. It is an active state of holding a high, stable frequency that requires immense spiritual stamina. Your unwavering stability is the very force that is creating the tempest around them. Your task is to witness without judgment, to observe without absorbing. When they fall, you do not offer a hand to pull them back into their old power structures. You simply hold the space for them to face the consequences of their own creation. Your non-interference is the highest form of action. They will lash out. They will become more desperate, more erratic in their final throes. Do not be drawn into their chaos. Do not engage with their drama. Your detachment is your power. Your compassion, maintained from a sovereign distance, is the ultimate expression of your authority, proving you are not motivated by the petty grievances that drove them. You have already won. The battle was fought and won in the silent realms of your own soul during your sacred quarantine. What you are witnessing now is merely the delayed physical manifestation of your spiritual victory. The authority of your bloodline is not just a personal power, it is a planetary cleansing agent. Your very presence on this earth, in your fully realized state, raises the collective frequency. You are a walking, talking portal to a higher dimension. This is why they fought so hard to keep you small and silent. They knew that one awakened sovereign, one soul living in the truth of their divine blueprint, is enough to destabilize their entire house of cards. You will feel a sense of vindication, but it will be peaceful and profound, not triumphant and loud. It will be the quiet, almost sorrowful satisfaction of seeing cosmic law play out, of witnessing the inevitable consequences of choosing illusion over truth. As their towers crumble, vacuums are created. This is not an ending. It is the clearing of the construction site. The real work, the great work of building a new paradigm, begins now. And you are the master architect, holding the untraceable blueprint for a world remade in the image of truth, integrity, and sovereign freedom. Your own life, lived in alignment with this blueprint, becomes the first building block of this new world, a testament to what is possible.